The following segments are pre-recorded and sponsored by Longworth Productions.
Winter weather tips on Triad Today. Hello everyone, I'm Jim Longworth and welcome to another edition of Triad Today, coming to you once again from the Senior Botanical Garden in Kernersville. We'll tell you more about them later on, and later on is when the roundtable shows up. Lord help us, and I don't know what we're going to get into, but stay tuned for that. That's at the end of the show. Lots of great guests in between. Hope you'll be with us throughout the program. We're going to start out, though, talking about some useful information from guys that always give us useful information, the Daggett Schuler team. David Daggett, Griff Schuler from Daggett Schuler Attorneys at Law. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hey, thanks, Jim. Good to see you.
Griff, let me start with you. Let's sort of talk about, there's been some high-profile accidents, car accidents, truck accidents in the Triad over the last couple of months. What's the reason for the increase in these accidents, especially the ones with tractor trailers and things like that, or is there a reason?
Well, Jim, we actually have represented numerous amounts of tractor-trailer drivers through the years, particularly in their workers' compensation claims and those type things. So a lot of those drivers are very safe drivers, great drivers. There's multiple reasons why there appear to be an increase on our highways of these types of serious accidents. Obviously, I think one of the big things that we're noticing is an increase in accidents caused by speed, excessive speed. I'm not sure if that's some of that is during COVID time. That's just been increased, but it seems like people are trying to get where they're going in an awful hurry.
Yeah, David, any advice you can give for people because it can be scary sometimes when you're driving around a big rig, a tractor trailer or something. Any tips on that?
Yeah, one of the things that we've seen is during the COVID period in the supply chain, we saw a decrease in tractor trailers. Now they're playing catch up, so there's an increase, and there's more of them out on the road, and they're moving around. It's very simple, but you got to avoid the big danger. You keep an eye out, watch the vehicles. I tell my kids, watch the vehicles ahead of you. You can get signals for how they're driving, how they're moving. If you see a tractor trailer that's zigzagging a little bit, they might be on their phone. Stay away from them or get past them or stay behind them. What we've seen is lives shattered by just a second of inattention. And you got to keep your eyes open and see what you ought to see.
What about in winter weather that we might experience coming up? Any advice on how to be safe on that?
Yeah, we get asked those questions all the time, and that's not real complicated. When it's cold, even if there's frost on the ground, it could be slippery. So slow down, pay attention, and watch out for the other person. Let's be good to other drivers. Aggressive driving has kind of picked up during this COVID period.
That's interesting.
Coming out of it also is be courteous to the other drivers on the road.
People's tempers are shorter too, aren't they?
They are shorter.
Griff, let's talk very quickly about distracted driving. People, you see them, I see it all the time, people texting while driving, talking on the phone while driving. I don't know if this is a fair question or not, but is it against the law to do that? And if so, are there penalties for it or what?
So, Jim, if you're under 18 in North Carolina, you cannot talk on the phone or text. If you're over 18, the present law in North Carolina is that you can talk on a phone, but there's no texting. It is against the law to text if you're over 18. And you see that all the time, and it is against the law.
So, something people have to remember is just looking at a text, you're driving the length of a football field.
Right.
A lot can happen in that time period.
And that's a great point on that law. Actually reviewing or reading the text is texting while driving. It's not just the actual texting.
All right, final thing, Dave, very quickly. If I do have an accident, let's God forbid it's not too serious, but there's a bump up, very quickly, what's the protocol? Do I call guys like you? Do I call the insurance company? Do I call the hospital, or what?
Well, the first thing to do is attend to anybody that's injured on the scene and make sure they're taken care of. Number two, get law enforcement involved. Number three, there is going to be a claim of some sort. It is in your best interest to get some advice from somebody who is on your side that can give you guidance, direction, and if needed, representation.
All right. Good information all the way around. Up on screen, daggettschulerlaw.com is the website, or you can call area code 336-724-1234. Guys, I appreciate it. And David, will you stay around and do the roundtable with us?
Sure.
All right. We'll be right back after this.
You know, it's hard to believe the Safe Sober program has been going strong for over 30 years.
And over 600,000 students have made the pledge to stay safe and sober on prom night. You know, Griff, it's had a huge impact on our community.
Yeah, you're right, David. And now we're making sure the message continues year-round.
So everyone can join us in supporting our students.
Learn more and take the pledge at safesober.com, sponsored by Daggett Schuler.
Back now on Triad Today, time to talk about ways we can help small businesses who are trying to start up, and we have a lady who's going to help us with that in helping people, and she does a great job. Felicia Lewis is director of the Small Business Center at Alamance Community College by way of Concord, and we welcome you to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Now, you're fairly new to Alamance Community College, but you're not new to the business world. Give us sort of just a highlight there of your experience in business.
Oh, I have about 25 years of business consulting experience in my background, and worked in business credit for about 15 of those years, helping small businesses across the United States.
That's great. You don't look old enough to have done anything for 25
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
What's the mission of the Small Business Center, if you had to tell somebody that?
So basically, to be a community-based resource education partner for developing a small business and running one. Some people think we only support those who are startups.
But also people that are already small
Already
business.
in business, we can help them all the way through succession planning.
How do these folks benefit, the startups and those who are already in business and need some help and some advice? How do they benefit from what you're doing, do you think?
It keeps them current. It keeps information, education-wise. Sometimes things get stale or stagnant. Technology is moving at a rapid pace, so we have often tools and tips and tricks to help them stay on the edge.
It's interesting you mentioned that, because I'm wondering how do you make the decision as to what kind of classes and information that you're going to offer to these folks?
Well, the first thing is we have a core set of classes that we always run throughout the course of the year around how to start a business and how to find customers, market, finance, that type of thing. But in addition to that, we pay attention to what is happening in the local area for the market, whatever the trends are and what our clients are telling us they have need of. So those
because I want to start a hot dog stand, and you say, hey, wait a minute, we're going to tell you today that there are 500 hot dog stands where you want to put yours, so you're gonna help them with that. But now, how do you decide who the lecturers, the educators are that you use to impart this information?
Good question. We actually have a network of people that we utilize that are professionals. We reach in for those who are current in the market and doing the work. So we use those professionals that are right there at the forefront doing the job.
They're already successful.
Well. They're already successful.
Yeah. Now, I guess I'm wondering can you sort of describe the kind of obstacles that people face when they're trying to get a business started?
The majority of the time, people think it's going to be finance related, but they often tell us that it's the uncertainty around law and understanding how to form a company to begin with. So how do I even begin to get into business or do market research? What does that mean? Where do I find that information?
Like a sole proprietorship or a limited liability company or a corporation. And man, that stuff is complicated. And I've had a business for over 40 years, and it seems like something new happens every day with that. Do you have any special events coming up that we should know about that might help people?
Absolutely. So we always keep our updated information on our website to let people know what's happening. But we have a one-day seminar that's going to be coming up featuring trucking, all about how to get in business as a truck driver, as well as brokering that business and doing some other things. So that'll be exciting. Plus, we have our fifth annual competition for CLAPS entrepreneurship opportunity coming up, and someone could actually win $10,000 through that competition.
Somebody can win $10,000, and when is that competition?
So it'll happen later in the spring. spring, but it actually will open already, probably right now.
I'm gonna run out and start another business just see if I can get that $10,000 up on. That's great. Up on screen, alamance.cc.edu/SBC Small Business Center. I got that right. Then check that out. Lots of good information. Felicia, I appreciate all you do for folks. Will you come back and update us on the competition and everything?
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you,
dear. We'll be right back after this.
Veterans, when you're struggling, soon becomes later, becomes someday, becomes when. Don't wait. Reach out.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Hi, I'm Jim Longworth, reminding you that Triad Today is now streaming on WFMY Plus, available free on Roku and Amazon Fire TV. Back now on Triad Today, two great friends with us. I'm so glad they came back. They've been on the show before. Next to me, Renee Rohr. She's Community Engagement Operations Manager for Truliant Federal Credit Union and the Foundation. We're going to talk about that. And Dr. S.D. Patterson, a return visitor to the show. He's co-founder with his wife and Executive Director of Neighborhood Hands of Winston-Salem. Good to see both of you.
Good to see you.
Renee, Dr. Patterson, if you just, we'll hold you in abeyance for a second. I'm going to start with Renee. Renee, let's remind everybody, because the Truliant Foundation isn't really that old. What's the mission?
Right. So, yeah, we've been doing the work of the foundation for a number of years, but the foundation itself is only about a year old. And really what we're about is strengthening nonprofits in the communities where our members live and work. And we're really putting into action some of our values that have to do with the community. And so, you know, that we do that in the form of scholarships, grants, charitable donations.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, you do so many things, and I know you did some tribute work in support of the work of, especially in recognizing Martin Luther King Day and Black History Month's coming up. And the themes there had to do a lot with service. So again, go back over some of those specific things that you do to serve and promote service.
Yeah, very good. Great question. So, you know, in celebration of the service that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. provided and his call to others to engage in service, we really highlighted nonprofit leaders in each of our 6 core markets. We highlighted them on social media, and we were able to, from the Truliant Foundation, provide each of those nonprofits with a donation to support the work that they're doing to strengthen their communities.
And one of those leaders is sitting right behind us, who's been on the show before, Dr. S.D. Patterson. Remind us now what the mission of Neighborhood Hands is.
Well, the mission of Neighborhood Hands is to enhance the quality of life of all residents of Winston-Salem.
Well, why did you think you needed the organization though?
Well, COVID-19 changed the world. Therefore, my wife and I decided to create a nonprofit to try to help the inner city students in East Winston, specifically Cleveland Avenue Homes, with education, a computer lab, and food pantry.
Right.
And that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah, you know, we have the great work of the food bank, we have other great agencies, but you guys really filled sort of a niche in a specific area. One of those areas, I believe you told me one time before that you wanted to focus some on Cleveland Avenue area. And why was that?
Well, I was born and raised in Cleveland Avenue Homes. Went there, spent my entire life until I went to college there. So I understand the need. My wife was born over there as well, so she understands the need. So we just trying to give back. God bless us with 4 beautiful children, and all our children went to NC State. And we're trying to encourage parents to promote college as well.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons why we do what we do with education.
Absolutely. And helping to knock down some of these barriers that exist for folks to try to get over the hump, and even early on, whether it's a shortage of food or needing help with education.
Yes.
I just think what you're doing is great. What is I'll put you on the spot a little bit, because Renee and I talked about the foundation, Truliant Foundation. What does it mean to you to have companies like Truliant sort of have your back and do some supporting of what you're doing? What does that mean to your mission?
Oh, it's awesome. We also bank at Truliant too,
yeah.
But that has nothing to do with it. But we do.
No, that's good. You just heard a commercial for Truliant. Okay,
but we bank there.
But first, you did a commercial for NC State University. Now you're doing. All right. So anyway,
but they're awesome. I'm saying for them to give us funding for our computer lab, for the children, to buy resources, it's priceless. And many of the children in 27105 do not have internet. Yes, it may be hard to believe in 2023, but many people do not have internet. And we have a computer lab with free internet, and they come up there, do their homework. So it's just amazing.
I think that's great. Up on screen, Neighborhoods Hands, there's a plural in there, .com. Please check that out for more information and ways you can help. And of course, trueliant.org/foundation. I hope you'll check that out as well. Two groups who do great work for a lot of people. Renee, Dr. Patterson, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this.
Banking is like going for a swim. You don't need all the complicated stuff, but you don't want to feel exposed either. At Trueliant, we give you just what you need, so you can manage your money on the go or stop by a branch whenever you need to. It's all about having options, while also keeping life simple, with low rates, free financial advice, and friendly faces. So check out Trueliant. We have just what you need.
Hi, I'm Jim Longworth, reminding you to catch my column Longworth at Large and Yes Weekly every week. It's available throughout the Triad, or you can go online, yesweekly.com. Back now on Triad Today, and I'm sorry to say, looking at myself here with a stomach, that I need help. And I'm glad to say somebody's here that's going to help us all with that. Next to me, first-time visitor to the show, Dr. Paul Chandler. He's a bariatric surgeon with Novant Health, Salem Surgical Associates. I'm so glad you're here. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me.
You know, Doc, that's the time of year, seriously, when a lot of us say, well, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to do this and that, a New Year's resolution. And frequently, we'll look at TV while we're making these resolutions, and we see all these diet pills and diet plans and medications and all that. Do all these things work? Do they help?
Sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. You know, this is a great time to be talking about it. You know, 4 weeks into the new year, you know, everyone's making their New Year's resolutions. The gyms are crowded. You know, people are motivated to get healthy and to lose weight.
But the pills, you know, sometimes they make these claims. Well, I'm not talking about anyone in particular, but we have to be careful of that, don't we?
That's right. So, you know, you can try diet, you can try exercise, you can try medications to help you lose weight. But more often than not, sometimes people are not able to lose enough weight to be healthy, or they're able to lose that weight and just have difficulty maintaining that weight loss over the long term.
Right. That sort of brings us to the main topic for today, which is if that's the case, and if we're having trouble because of metabolism or age, or we just can't take the weight off even though we exercise, we try to diet, at what point should someone consider bariatric surgery?
Well, I would say that anyone who has severe obesity should consider it. And when I say obesity, that has to do with BMI, or body mass index. So in order to qualify for bariatric surgery, you need to have a BMI greater than 40 or a BMI greater than 35 with a medical problem related to obesity, such as diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, or sleep apnea. But that may be changing soon, because that was based on recommendations from 1991.
Okay.
And just a few months ago, in October of 2022, international societies of experts got together and updated those recommendations based on decades of research that shows that bariatric surgery, or weight loss surgery, is the most effective and durable treatment for obesity that there is.
Wow.
And so that BMI threshold has been lowered, so anyone with a BMI greater than 35 or anyone with a BMI greater than 30 with a medical problem like diabetes.
Okay. Now, how do I prepare for bariatric surgery?
Well, a great place to start is by watching or attending an informational seminar about bariatric surgery. And at least for my practice, it is completely online, where you can go on and register and watch an episode or a 20-minute webinar.
Right.
And when you register, after you watch it, you'll get a call from my bariatric nurse navigator, and she will set up an appointment for you to come see me or my partner, Dr. Ricky. And at that appointment, we'll talk about your unique situation and you know, the risks and the benefits of the surgical options, so that we can make the best surgical decision for you.
Yeah, and I know it's different for everybody, but basically, what does recovery entail?
Well, I do the surgery minimally invasively, and I use the robot to do surgery.
Okay.
So that's done through very small incisions, and we use a enhanced recovery after surgery protocol to help prevent or decrease nausea and vomiting. So right after surgery, you'll be able to drink, you'll be able to walk.
Wow.
Most patients spend one night in the hospital and they go home the next day.
Very quickly, we have a couple seconds left. How long, how many weeks, how many months before I see a weight loss?
Well, if you have diabetes, the effect is immediate. If you're on diabetes medications before surgery, most patients don't go home on diabetes medications.
Wow, that's just something else. Up on screen, I want to make sure we put this up. First of all, a plug for Novant Health Salem Surgical Associates. Number there that you can reach the doc and his nurse navigator, 564-4873. But the main website you want to check out for more information is novanthealth.org/weight loss, and I hope you will do that. And I appreciate you helping so many folks, Doc. Will you come back sometime?
I will. Maybe you can come to the OR with me sometime.
You mean to look at, just
Yeah.
to see what you're doing,
Just
or
watch
to
it.
lay
Yeah.
down? I'm not sure. I can lay down right here, but we'll be right back after this. Hi, I'm Jim Longworth, reminding you that Triad Today is now streaming on WFMY Plus, available free on Roku and Amazon Fire TV.
Every cookie sold in the Girl Scout Cookie Program helps girls learn lifelong lessons in people skills, decision making, money management, goal setting, and business ethics. It's amazing how much you can learn from a cookie. The Girl Scout Cookie Program. Think outside the box.
Back down on Triad Today, just about time for the roundtable, but a quick shout out to our good friends here at the Senior Botanical Garden. You can come out and see the garden in the winter weather. If it gets a little cold, come on in here, and especially if you're standing here now, you're going to be around three hot guys. That'll really raise the temperature. On my right, but always politically left, Ogie Overman, the great broadcaster journalist. David Daggett, held over from an earlier segment, of course, with Daggett Schuler. Keith Granberry, founder of Helping Hands Consultants. Guys, North Carolina Attorney General Josh Stein said he's going to throw his hat in the ring for governor of 2024. He's a Democrat, of course. Republican Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson says he'll probably do that too. Meanwhile, Sherry Beasley and Mark Walker have both told me personally that some folks have approached them. Guys, here's the question. Among these four, give me your prediction for who wins the primary, gets the nomination, and who's going to be the next governor. Ogie, go.
That's a fun race, but Josh Stein is going to emerge victorious.
All the way.
All the
He'll
way.
get the okay,
All
David,
the way.
nomination and the.
I know 3 of the 4 personally.
Right.
However, I am friends with Josh Stein's father, and I've known Josh since he was a teenager.
All right.
So my vote is a little bit tilted. I think Josh will go all the way.
All the way. Nominations and winner.
I think Beasley, if she gets in it, especially during the presidential.
So you think Beasley could beat Stein
I think she can
primary?
absolutely beat
It's going to be interesting. Children are increasingly committing violent crimes, such as the 6-year-old Virginia student who deliberately, by the way, shot his teacher. Currently, 13 states have no minimum age for prosecuting children as an adult. Guys, would you like to see North Carolina, who's not among those 13. Would you like to see North Carolina and the other 36 states just drop the minimum requirement so that if a child commits a violent crime, no matter his age, he can be prosecuted as an adult? You think we should do that, Ogie?
That's such a tough one, Jim. Typically, I answer that the parents should be the ones prosecuted. But in some of these cases, the parents are really good people, and they just got these out-of-control, disturbed kids that I don't really know the answer. I really don't.
David, should a child of any age be
I'm
tried?
going to disagree with Ogie. I do not think we should prosecute kids. In my opinion, it's never the child's fault. It's the fault of their environment.
He pulled the trigger.
It's the fault of their environment, or it's the fault of some sort of mental illness that has gone unaddressed.
Up to what age?
I think up to the age of 14 or 16.
Keith, what do you think?
I don't think you should prosecute children. I think, especially with the Justice Department, justice system the way it is, and you're putting kids in unfair environments. in jail. I just don't think that's a proper way to go about it.
That's weird. You and me agree, and we disagree with Ogie.
That's right. All right. I think I'm pronouncing this correct. The Temecula City Council in California has voted not to observe or recognize any special days or months, such as Black History Month, Gay Pride Day, or Women's History Month, because they say, quote, it excludes some people. Guys, do they have a point, or are they just prejudiced?
They're worse than prejudice. I don't know what the word is. It's just, they're scum.
So no good. Are they have a point, or are they prejudiced?
No, they don't have a point.
We often see this in the law, is the framework of law and regulation, what you can and can't do, lags culture. Culture is moving forward and evolving. We don't always like it, but society will take time and they'll mold that properly. No, we shouldn't regulate that.
Okay, absolutely not. I mean, they're talking about Black History Month. That's 1 month. Black History Month should be year-round, just like other things.
You told me once you wanted to have a Keith Granberry month every month.
I said the show should be named
The
Keith Granberry Today.
Show. Yeah.
That's what I said.
Oh, man. Keith Granberry Today. All right. Meanwhile, residents of Jamestown, Michigan voted to shut down their public library because they say their collection in the library included the book Gender Queer. Conservatives say the library was using public tax money to, quote unquote, groom kids for being gay. Strictly speaking, though, guys, as absurd as this sounds, do they have a point? Should kids be exposed to any book with sexual content? What's the solution, Ogie?
They do not have a point. When I was in the 6th grade, word got around that Catcher in the Rye was, we weren't supposed to be rich, so some kid got a copy, and we passed around. Every kid in that room read Catcher in the Rye.
Yeah.
Tell them to read Fahrenheit 451.
All right. Can't ban everything, David. What do you think?
I agree with Ogie. I remember when I was a kid, the book Animal Farm in 1984 were controversial. Banning books is a bad idea in general.
Keith.
Terrible idea.
All right. Last week, a contractor who was working on, I think, the ill-advised Kernersville Greenway hit a sewage line. I spoke to somebody at DEQ. They said this happens like 20 times a month in our immediate area, and hardly any fines are given out. Quickly, guys, even if it's an accident or something or negligence, a spill like that can be a public health crisis. Should it become a criminal offense to hit a line like that, a sewage line, Ogie?
You know, when I was editing the Jamestown News, we would get notices from the city like pretty much weekly, every other week or so. And I'm thinking, is this just routine?
It is routine.
Yeah.
Could you be criminal quickly, David?
No, but there should be remediation efforts. There should be responsibility. There should be liability. It should be pursued.
No, financial liability.
All right. Finally, a company specializing in artificial intelligence has developed a robot lawyer who can represent you via Bluetooth. Guys, do you know of any attorneys with artificial intelligence, and would you want them representing you? Oh,
I'll let Daggett answer that one. I don't know, man.
I have a hard time finding attorneys that I'm against with intelligence.
Just not even artificial. You know of any attorneys with artificial intelligence?
Keith? I think Dave has artificial intelligence. Dave and Shula, they have artificial intelligence.
Yeah, which means they had a lot of intelligence.
Exactly. That's why they win all their cases, man. That's why they win all their cases. You seen the billboards? Are you serious?
That's true. That's true. Well, that's all the time we have. Except for this. This is sad news. Last week, the oldest living person in the world died, passed away. She was a nun at age 118. Reportedly, her last words were, "Tell Ogie it never would have worked out." For all of us here, Triad Today with Keith Granberry. I'll see you next week.